Nice. Okay. Do you know that is actually we should be online. We will see
We're
if
live. We're live now.
okay, great. This is actually my first YouTube live.
Oh, really? Oh, amazing. Well, it's a really powerful tool. StreamYard is fantastic. But yeah, we're live to the audience now and people can come and ask questions. And yeah, it's a really good bit of tech.
So, ciao everyone. I was saying to Nathan about my poor choice of the color of my sweater. Welcome everyone. I'm Laura, head of marketing of Shopee. Shopee, just a quick note about Shopee. Shopee is a Shopify app builder that allows anyone that has a Shopify e-commerce to build their own app without any coding experience. And here there's a Nathan, which is the very true star of this webinar, because he is the very the big e-commerce expert. He's the founder of Quickfire digital agency, one of the top Shopify agencies in the UK. And if you want to say something about yourself.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you so much for having me. I don't think the jump is so bad. I think you're being harsh, but yeah, it's great to be here, and I'm really excited to chat with you guys. So a bit of context: Quickfire started in 2017. We focus on Shopify and Shopify Plus stores. Primarily, there's two sides to the business. So either optimizing existing Shopify stores or bringing people from a Magento, BigCommerce, Visualsoft, etc., and bring them into the Shopify ecosystem. So delighted to be chatting to Laura, who worked with Shopee for some time now, particularly when our brands are looking for mobile apps. We've been impressed with the speed of movement in which you guys can bring stores to market and the great features. I really like the in-app notifications and that kind of thing. So great to share the stage with you today, and looking forward to chatting all things Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Yes, as Nathan was saying, today's the topic is e-commerce on Black Fridays and the key strategies that will help any e-commerce optimize this period. And as we saw, Black Friday has changed a lot during the years. Initially, it was just a day of physical shopping, physical sales. And now it's a crucial time for e-commerces. And the first question that I have for Nathan, because he's in the business for longer than me, how he saw Black Friday changing over the year, and what does he think that expectations of the consumers are nowadays for Black Friday?
Yeah, interesting. I think certainly just a number of years ago, I think more and more brands felt like they had to do Black Friday, and it was their go-to trading period for the year. So you've got Golden Quarter, which was traditionally always like Christmas around then the busiest time, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Normally, I'm seeing brands do 60-70% of revenue in these 3 months, right? So Black Friday, Cyber Monday is absolutely essential for their trading strategy. I think now if we roll forward to 2024, I see more and more brands interestingly opting out of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which I think is a really interesting play, particularly those in sustainability and those with sustainable credentials. I've seen some lovely campaigns where people are saying, actually, over this time period, we're going to donate to charity, or we're going to collaborate with another good cause, or whatever it's going to be, and move away from this kind of fast fashion or inverted commas greed. I mean, for some brands, it's absolutely essential and will continue to be so. And a lot of consumers will not buy in a couple of weeks leading up to Black Friday because they're desperate to get that discounted product. And you see that a lot in consumer electronics. A friend of mine works at Samsung, and they've got run a too good to wait campaign, which is they've started running Black Friday, Cyber Monday campaigns almost a month early to try and get ahead. And this is the challenge you see now: is everyone's competing for that real estate at that specific time and trying to get your attention. And so more and more brands are bringing it forward. So the way to stand out is either bringing it forwards, or some people are saying, you know what, we're not going to do it at all. We're going to do totally the opposite, and we're going to donate to good causes, etc., which is something I'm interested to see. I just really hope that brands continue to invest in other key seasonal dates to reduce the reliance on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. A lot of our brands are immensely stressful time, huge pressure. Everything is relying on this. And we know it's been an incredibly difficult year trading wise for many brands. And so they seem to all be holding out on a really strong Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And who knows, with the budget coming out, etc., will brands decide to pause spend or hold on spend, or will brands decide to go full hog and give it their best shot? We'll see. But fingers crossed. I know a lot of brands are preparing for it. One thing I would say is brands seem to get better and better at preparing, which is nice. A few years ago, I'd be talking to brands in early November, they're thinking what we do for Black Friday, which in the nicest way is far too late, right? So more and more brands are starting to think, okay, February, March, April time, what are we doing for Black Friday, Cyber Monday? What does that mean for stock levels? I was chatting to the guys at Sage Inventory Planner the other day. What are we doing around inventory? What do we need? Can we forecast? And I think those brands that do prepare will come out stronger.
Do you have, among your customers, are there many of them that decided to actually go against Black Friday?
Yeah, interesting, particularly sustainable wise. There's been a couple of brands that we've worked closely with that have gone against it. I never forget, we don't work with them, but I think it was Patagonia that totally went against it. I have seen sites even close for the day and just turn it off and go totally against it. I
Yes.
invested in a sustainable marketplace called Canopy that did a similar thing and was donated to charities. I see some brands doing quite a lot of nice collabs around this or supporting various good causes. So I think more and more brands will do this and will stay true to their values. If you think about why you or I shop now, so much more of it is about the story and the ethics of the brand rather than just the said product, right? So we're looking for far deeper connection with the brand and therefore being able to resonate and go, oh, they also disagree with fast fashion or the amount of plastic we're putting into the world, etc., or the need for fast fashion to slow down. Maybe I'm going to subscribe to this and maybe I'm going to also decide not to shop. So I think a lot of brands, I think the only thing I would say now on this is you can smell a mile when it's disingenuous. And I think that is a problem, right? Is that many brands are going, oh, we're going to not do Black Friday, Cyber Monday just because we're trying to tick a box. And you think, or the other way, we're going to do it. And you think, well, that's totally against all the storytelling of the last 10, 12 months. So be careful to do what is right for you as a brand rather than following the crowd and doing what you think is right and then eventually of alienating your audience.
Yes. Interesting. Interesting. So, based on your experience and from what you like, for what you are saying now, like, what do you think are the biggest challenges for e-commerces when they decide to prepare for Black Friday? So, like, excluding those that don't want to take part of this, like, which are the biggest challenges you think that there are
Yeah, I'd
out
say
there
there's
for e-commerces?
probably three core challenges. One is stock and inventory. I mean, it's an absolute nightmare to plan and forecast. And a lot of the brands we work with, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, year on year, beats the previous year. But it's like actually with so much turbulence in the economy and uncertainty, how do we know stock wise what to forecast? Are we going 20% more than last year because that's what we've done the last 2 years? Are we actually going to go less because we feel like maybe not the right take up? Are we going to put all our budget into Meta? Are we going to try new channels? Introducing a channel like TikTok, who knows how that's going to perform? If that's been a key sales channel for you, or maybe you're just trying the channel. I think there's so much unpredictability. So I think that's the first thing for brands. I think secondly is just knowing where to spend time, money, and resources. I think that's a massive issue. So we've talked about stock and the challenges there, but actually, are we going to invest in making this website optimized to the best of its capability? Are we going to invest in possibly a reskin or a replatform? Are we going to invest in something else? Are we going to invest in an app and maybe a mobile app or something like that to try and improve user experience? And I think there's so many decisions for brands to make to know what's right or what's wrong. And I think many brands almost get this decision paralysis where they think, blimey, like I've got all these different things I could and should be doing. Where do I start and which one do I do first? So what with inventory and what with the plethora of tech and where to start and where to finish, I think that's the second thing. And probably the third is just around too many brands, as I've already touched upon, are overly reliant on this trading period. And I think a lot of brands are probably a little bit over leveraged than they possibly care to admit. So I think a lot of people are banking on a really strong Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And I think from a brand to have all your hopes pinned on this trading period, I mean, it seems like a big roll of the dice. And I think you'll see a lot of brands either get it right and come out incredibly strong and have a good Christmas and go into the year 2025 very strong, or this could be a real damaging time for them. And actually, they've overcommitted. They haven't had the results they want, and there's not a lot of cash left in the coffers to go again in the new year. So let's just hope that brands play it carefully and get it right and get the results they need. Because otherwise, I think for retail as a whole, whether it be online or offline, I think it's going to be a difficult time. I can't see personally, Black Friday, Cyber Monday aside, I can't see that 2025 is going to be anything other than difficult for brands and scrappy, like it's been for many in 2024. But those brands that are looking to unite offline and online, I see coming out best. I did a piece in a recent article where I talked about community 2025 and online, offline. And if you can focus on those, that's where I think the brands are going to win going into the new year.
Yes, interesting. Actually, we have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Claire asked if can you excuse my pronunciation on this word, can you envisage a time when the concept of Black Friday and Cyber Monday disappears completely? So if you can see a time in which this concept will disappear.
Yeah, well, first, I know Claire, and she's fabulous, and it's lovely to see you, Claire, and thank you for asking the question. Secondly, yeah, you know what? I don't think it will. I think it will change in its guise, and I don't think, or I hope there won't be so much reliance on it as a key trading period, but I don't see it going anywhere, certainly for the next 5-10 years. I think you will either be massively pro it or massively against it. It'll continue to alienate, but I don't think like the historical Boxing Day or New Year sales, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. I think even with the pressure around sustainability, etc., I don't think until brands find another way to replace that kind of revenue, I don't see it going away. I'd be keen to hear your thoughts as well, but for me, I can't see it going anywhere anytime soon.
Nice.
Necessary evil, as she puts. I think it absolutely is a necessary evil for brands. Like they don't love it, but at the same time, they can't live without it.
Yes, agree. And like, what do you think that? Okay, so actually, like Claire asked something very interesting because I didn't even think that Black Friday and Cyber Monday could actually disappear. Also because Black Friday is something that it was has a very a big historical meaning. It was born. It was born like after as a sale after Thanksgiving. So yes, actually, it shifted as a meaning, and let's hope that it will be still keep on being there for a long time. Also because is in terms of marketing campaigns, in terms of I think that Black Friday is an event, is one of the major events for an e-commerce in general. Also Christmas is one of the major events, and I actually wouldn't know which one is more important. So in your opinion, what do you think will drive more sales, Black Friday or Christmas? Because also in my experience, I buy a lot of Christmas gifts during Black Friday. So like every year as a customer, I plan my expenses around Black Friday, because during Black Friday, I hope that my favorite brand will have some deals, so I can take advantage of it in order to buy gifts for Christmas.
Yeah, I think, Laura, you echo probably the sentiment of many consumers out there that do the same, right? Now, for a brand, if you sit the other side of the fence, you think, well, is Black Friday, Cyber Monday about revenue or about profit? Okay, now I would say it's about revenue. Okay,
Yes.
you're pumping out sales at tiny margin to possibly use it as an acquisition tool to get brands onto databases, etc. Christmas, I would say, is a little less of that, but at the same time, you've got to find ways to compete because, as you say, more and more people are using Black Friday, Cyber Monday as their chance to shop, and then not shopping as much over the Christmas period, Boxing Day, New Year's sales, that kind of thing. I think just on reflection, more and more brands are looking at margins and looking at profitability, etc. And actually, if I was to encourage any brand to take anything from today, it would be, if you do Black Friday, Cyber Monday, just think of the primary and secondary reasons you're doing it. So one might be cash generation for sure and cash flow, but actually in terms of margin, how many people, if you really boiled it down, time you spent money on ads and email campaigns and everything else, and you take all that cost into account, how many people actually make money on Black Friday, Cyber Monday? Or is it about actually we've gained 10,000 people on our email list? Now, the only thing I would say is if email subscriber growth is your metric of success, how many of those become genuine subscribers and engage with other emails and end up buying products, etc., versus how many of them come in the funnel to get said promo and then go straight back out the funnel and unsubscribe? Like if you look at Gmail and what it's done with its promotions folder, etc., how many people actually just sit in promotions, never open an email? I was talking to a tech solution the other day called Paper Run, and they were at the Shard with yourself the other week. And they were talking about how we can activate those subscribers that potentially don't get said email or don't open said email, and how can we still make most of it? After all, we've paid good money to get those people on our list. Just sending them an email, if they don't answer, is essentially vanity, right? It's just like, oh, we've done a tick box exercise. Yeah, but if they're not responding, it's pointless. So just think, okay, well, what are the reasons we're doing this? Why are we doing it? Is the reason because we feel we have to? Or is the reason because we want to grow our list, we want to improve brand awareness, we want to try a new product, we want to roll out bundles, whatever it's going to be, and then build the strategy from there. I see Claire's asked a number of our brands are not only looking at the increase of revenue, we're looking at longer game engagement of inactive customers. Absolutely right, Claire. And some customers will be just Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or deal stroke customers, and some will be loyal customers that purchase every single month. I think, yeah, a lot of people I also see launching subscriptions and things around this time to say, actually, can we just move away from one-time purchase and into some kind of monthly agreement where suddenly we've got a bit more predictable revenue, and people often will use Black Friday, Cyber Monday as their way to hook the brand onto their first month of subscription. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting time. I really hope for all brands out there that it's a good one, because as I say, what with the budget, I don't know if you saw yesterday here in the UK, like it's going to be announced, I think, on the 30th, but they're looking at increasing, they're kind of adjusting capital gains and corporation tax and all sorts, and national insurance. And I think it's really going to hit business owners hard. And therefore, I think, yeah, a win in Black Friday, Cyber Monday would be most welcome by many of us.
Yes, so like basically one of the because that will lead to my next question actually, because a great things to analyze after Black Friday period would be how many customers actually bought and were customers before, or how many of them were new customers. And that would be interesting to analyze, because then, like, based on the percentage of like new customers buying, or let's say returning customer, that will lead to different type of strategies, and that will lead to other type of communications. Like, what is the main datas that you would suggest to analyze after Black Friday and Cyber Monday period?
Yeah, good question. I personally would love to look at subscription churn and churn of email subscriber to see how many people are genuine, like in our cost per acquisition of new customer, how many have been genuine customers and how many have been there to take said promo and go. I'd love to see, in terms of average order value or lifetime value, would be more of an interesting thing to say, okay, well, actually these, like so many brands, I think, just blanket Black Friday, Cyber Monday promo rather than going, well, first we're going to offer our existing customers and our loyal database this promo that you're not going to be able to get if you're a net new customer. And the net new customers are going to get this promo, which isn't quite as good as that one, but it's still pretty blooming competitive. And then go from there and then see which ones work and which don't. I think a lot of brands, and to be fair, I see this with promotions all year round, not necessarily Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but it's a blanket spray and pray 20% off as soon as you land on the site, and you just give up margin, and you think, blimey, does it need to be quite as weighty, or actually is there a more agile way of doing this that means for those customers that were prepared to pay more, they do pay more, and for those that are waiting for your discount, you satisfy those needs as well? So yeah, I don't. In terms of metrics, if you look at a Suite Analytics, if you look at a Claw, if you look at Triple Whale, like there's tons of tools out there. I think one thing that Shopify is big on is looking at there's like a live view of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which is always really cool to watch and see the throughput of activity, etc. Sales and revenue, I would say in e-com in general has for a long time been the metric, right? And a lot of people are looking at sales revenue, etc. I think now, particularly a lot of private equity brands are looking at revenue is one thing, profit and margin is another thing. And so this year, I think will be hopefully the year in which I was trying to think, was it Store Hero? I think it was Store Hero that I was talking to, and Thomas Gleason and those guys talking about profitability and the importance of profitability for brands going into, well, it was this year really, but certainly going into next year. Everything's being squeezed. You need to protect margin. So I'll be interested to see actually if this year one of the metrics brands are looking at is profit and margin rather than just top line sales.
Especially margin, because it could be like I never thought that actually Black Friday could be almost a loss for a business, because like you can invest a lot in campaign, human resources that are preparing the business for Black Friday, and then you don't have margin because you want to like have big sales. So yeah, that's something that I actually never.
Sorry, just on that, it's the hidden costs that a lot of brands oversee. So it's not just the cost that you're putting into Meta, it's the man hours or like human hours behind running campaigns, creating campaigns, all that good stuff that perhaps isn't added back in. And then you're like, actually, if I am really true to myself, it's not been as profitable as perhaps I'd hoped.
So now just a little question, because obviously I'm a little biased because as I said, Shopee is a app builder for Shopify e-commerces, and I noticed so I'm pretty new to Shopee and the e-commerce world, because I work for Mumble, which is the mom company of Shopee, for a year and a half. And in this year and a half, I saw how actually even Shopee is seasonal, because people, in order to get prepared for Black Friday and then Christmas, will start installing and preparing their app between August and September. And obviously, we analyzed why and what are the key features wanted by a mobile app in order to be prepared for Black Friday and Christmas. But I would be very curious to understand, in your opinion, Nathan, what are the key features that could be helpful in a mobile app to boost sales? And even like retain customer after that are like included in a mobile app, or even if some of your customers requested a special or specific features that could be obviously in a web app, or then in a native mobile app for your e-commerce, for the e-commerces.
Okay, so trying to unpack those thoughts or questions, like the first thing for me is like the importance of community and actually any in-app experience that can deliver that sense of community. And I think about the referral of friends, the promotion of certain activities or behaviors, whether that be installing the app earns you X points, referring a friend earns you Y points. When they install the app, you get Z points. When you do something else, you get A points. I think that to me is really important, and where apps, etc., come into our own is that kind of gamification piece. For me, the strongest feature of an app and why more brands are going about it is that exclusive content and in-app notifications as a great way to stand out. If you think about email and the trouble we've got now with email getting through to the actual end user, apps provide a really interesting experience as long as the cadence is taken with care. And what I mean by that is, as long as we're not spamming users with, hey, new promotion, new promotion, new promotion, you go, blimey, actually you're saturating that audience. I think in-app notifications provide a really interesting opportunity for brands utilizing apps to get in front of their audience with a timely message. I think the big thing for me is to use apps as this exclusive. I like brands that use an app as an exclusive area where you can go and feel part of something. And I think those brands that are try and bring the team forward as well. What I don't just want is a faceless app where it's just a piece of technology gamifying my experience, but the chance to feel like I'm genuinely part of a community or a family, and I'm talking or hearing from said founder and senior people in their team, and I feel like I'm on that journey. That's where I see brands winning. So for me, if I was going to be a brand right now running an app, and my partner launched a brand this week, and so I'm kind of thinking of apps and all that good stuff, for me, I'll be looking at, can I use the app as a way to deliver exclusive promos or content in what feels like a gated community that you have to genuinely want to be part of to get involved in, rather than just using my in-app strategy exactly the same as my online strategy, which I'm running through Meta, and I'm treating every customer the same. And as we said in a previous discussion, it's really important that the relevant high profile, high net worth customers, or your most valuable customers, your VIP customers, are treated like that and not just like any other Tom, Dick or Harry.
Yes. Something that we found very interesting is that many e-commerces decide to release a lot of collections just for in-app purchases, especially for Black Friday. Because then, like for the things that we were saying before, that will also lead to retaining the customers over time and not just one shot. Because like if you download the app to arrive to that special Black Friday sale or collection, you will tend to stay with the app a little more if you see that it's working. So like we saw that many commerces use the app to retain actual customers over time after the one-shot sale that they had for Black Friday.
I would say you can go to the app during Black Friday, Cyber Monday and access exclusive product lines or exclusive discounts that you can't get anywhere else. I then say it's the same around Christmas. It's the same at Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Halloween, you name it. Like there's lots of opportunities for this app to be a really helpful tool for you as a consumer of the brand to go, I need to keep the app. Because that's the other thing, of course, is it's one thing incentivizing someone to download the app, but it's the other thing incentivizing them not to delete the app and to maintain using the app, etc. And that to me is the difference in where people are kind of really winning with apps versus apps are okay, but they're not keeping loyal customer bases. It's not just around attracting them first time, it's maintaining them. And what else can you give them as well outside of, we've already talked about margin, but rather than just every time there being a promo, is it an exclusive event and the invite is only accessible via the app? Is it a piece of content or a webinar or a podcast with the founder and you can only access that via the app? What are the other features that mean you have to have this app? And when it comes to freeing up space on your phone, which I'm sure we've all had that conversation about, oh, blimey, my iCloud storage is running out and what can I do, etc. You're deleting that app, right? That app is an essential part of your life and your buying habits. It's not just I used it once for a Black Friday thing and I've not used it again and therefore I can remove it.
Yes, you got it. Yes. Okay, thank you, Nathan. I'm actually done with my questions. I don't want to take too much space. I don't know if anyone has other questions or if something wasn't clear about what we said and you would like to know more about it. If there are no questions, Nathan, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for making me comfortable. My first YouTube live session. It was great.
Thank you. You did a brilliant job, Laura. It's always nice to share the stage together. And as I said to you when you spoke at the Shard a few weeks ago and did a splendid job there, like doing a webinar in a language that isn't native, etc., is incredibly impressive. So well done. And thank you to all the team at Shopee for having me. I wish you and all your customers all the best for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And anyone that's listening that would like to ask questions or challenge something that was said, etc., please feel free to do so. Connect on LinkedIn. Happy to have a chat, and I wish you all the very best for the promotional season ahead.
Thank you so much.
Take care. See you soon.
Bye. Bye. Bye.